Hi everybody, my name is Carla Holland Strange. I want to tell y'all a weird story. A week ago today, I had to go to a doctor's appointment, and I had been sick for a long time. With my doctor had said it was pyloric bacterial infection. I had found that out 2 weeks prior. I had been going to Scott and White for a long time, trying to find out why I was getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and I started hemorrhaging. And when I couldn't get them to understand me, that their bathrooms in their RV park were so nasty that I was getting sick ever since I've been there, that they decided to kick my ass out on that day that I had the doctor's appointment. Well, this pyloric bacteria infection causes a lot of neurological problems too, like dizziness and numbness, tingling. Your teeth fall out, break loose, fall out. And since May, I have repeatedly been sick, let out everywhere. Well, finally found a good doctor, and actually he was with Scott and White. And he's the one that ran the test and found out what was wrong with me. But the day that I had the doctor's appointment was the day they decided I had to go. They didn't want me there anymore. I couldn't come back on the grounds. All of that. Whistleblower Act didn't matter to them. They were going to push it and punish me for telling on them. My HIPAA rights were violated because the security guards knew not only my doctor's names, but my appointment times and everything. And they actually kicked me out for not being a patient of Scott and White anymore. I'd already been 9 times in the last 2 weeks to the doctor. Now, I was telling over and over and over, this bathroom, feces in showers, handicapped showers with feces. Human feces. Rust, mold, mildew, everything. In this RV owned by the hospital park. Okay. When I got done with the doctor, it was x-rays and stuff like that. I was so stressed. I had no place to go. I had to have my friend drop me off on the side of the road because I couldn't go back to my house because they threatened to put me in jail if I did. So Hooch, my baby back there, and I walked 15 miles. We had no food, no money, no coat, no nothing. They were all at my house. The last thing I said to that police, it wasn't even the security guard, was, could you make sure my stuff is safe? Oh, yes, we will do that. We will do that for sure. I couldn't take it anymore. I walked so long. I was so exhausted. A body can only take so much, especially when they're as old as I am. And I walked out in front of a car. My heart, my life, there was no joy left. I had no home to go back to, in which the RV was horrible, but I had no home at all. No shelter over my head. No shelter for my dog. So I walked out in front of a car. I figured it would be better for everybody that way. And by the way, I am the right to choose type person, so don't get me there. Hooch pulled me back, and that was a sign that I needed to trudge on. So he and I got to Canyon Creek Behavioral Center because I knew that I needed some help. I was tearing apart inside. And people don't ever be afraid to admit you need help because sometimes we do. But when I get in there, it took us a long time to check in, but Hooch was welcomed. Hooch was not treated poorly. He was treated awesome at this mental health facility. But when they were doing the health check, they noticed that I was staying dizzy and that I had an irregular little heartbeat, and which I have the scans and everything. So they told me they had to send me Scott and White. I said, no, please, no, don't. I've got Hooch. Please don't. They've taken everything from me. I can't lose it. I can't. They said, we've already called them, and they said that you can bring Hooch, and he will be fine. Guaranteed, he will be fine. And Hooch is being bad with Reese's. We get to the hospital. From the ambulance, they roll us in. Hooch gets in the chair with me. Doctor comes right in, determines. Now, he's got my file in his hand, so he should know what I've had going on. They determined that I've had another stroke. That means, plus they noticed that I had damn good health insurance. Health insurance. Damn good. So let's milk it. They tell me they have to admit me that I am in such bad shape. And by then, I was pretty much, because they had me so stressed. I couldn't think, I couldn't do anything. But that was mental. That was not just physical. I was put back in that chair, and they started putting pills in me. Pills. Now, this is a woman that hasn't taken pills in years. Nothing. Not even aspirin. But they're handing me all these handfuls of pills. Well, that fucking evil security guard that had been terrorizing me over at the RV park for so long walked up like this. Mrs. Strange. And by the way, it's Miss Bitch. I'm here to confiscate your dog. I said, you mean steal my dog? He jerked my dog. And I started screaming. They were going to take my service dog. I've had 9 years service, dual registered, complete service dog. Seizures and PTSD. He was going to take my baby and take him to a shelter, which you cannot put a service dog in a shelter. They jerked my dog's neck so tight, it was unreal. The animal catcher is with him and tells me I have 3 days to retrieve my dog, with them knowing I'm going into the hospital. 3 days, or he goes up for adoption. I start wailing. I'm screaming. I'm crying. I can't even think. All I want to do is just blow the fuck up. That is all I have left is my dog. They drugged me some more. And I laid there and I cried and I cried and cried. Here I am. I've had another stroke, I think, at that time, but I should have known to look up what they said because I looked it up. Pyloric bacteria does this. They knew that too. But they were covering their ass because pyloric is contagious and a motherfucking stroke isn't. Although the stress you put me through would have been. I was bedbound for 4 days. If I got up off that bed, the alarms would ring. They did every expensive test they possibly could on me. I was put in the stroke deal, the stroke floor. Cleaning staff came through one time in all that time. Once. What's I tell you? On Monday, they came and gave me occupational therapy for 10 minutes. That's this. Therapy, physical therapy. They walked me around the hall once. 30 minutes later, they discharged me with no resources and no place to go. They told me they could put me in a rehab if I give up Hooch. Because he's up for adoption. Everybody knows I would never give up Hooch. Never give up Hooch. At that same time, a woman called me out of the blue. She'd been in that ER with me. She wanted to offer me help. You talk about the divine stepping in. I know this is all to show the world what your healthcare has turned into. Especially big boy healthcare like Baylor Scott and White. Scott and White was fine. Baylor Scott and White is a demon, money-sucking demon. Okay? Out of the hospital I go. No jacket. Still. No nothing. Still. No place to go. But I had people coming. People that I didn't even know from Adam that I got in the car with that took the little bit of money that they had and rented me a hotel room for a week. Good people. Her eyes were squirting out blood, by the way, and Scott and White didn't do shit for her all this time. I did. I did healing. Now, does this look like somebody that had a stroke? Or does this look like someone that has been living in a decent environment, able to shower without having massive COVID bacterial infections and pyloric and all that shit that goes with it? This is a healthy person. But they knew that when I checked in because they knew that my blood pressure was not high. Stroke, you have high blood pressure. They wanted the money. They wanted the blame off of them for what they had done to me. Then I tried to find out about my RV. They towed it at the exact same time that I'm in their hospital. With them knowing I'm in their hospital, they towed my RV. They didn't just tow it like a normal RV pull. They did it like a car where you jack up the end and push everything down to the bottom. Destroying everything I had. They took it to a storage yard, which is $400. I don't have. But they towed it illegally, so I am going to TDLR. It's anytime towing in Belton. Instead of calling a Temple towing yard, they called a Belton. None of that made sense, did it? Because they knew that Belton place would be the only one that would do the illegal things that they were requesting got done. Pete McKenna, administrator of Scott and White. What do you have to say about this? I have to go and actually file I've already done it, insurance fraud on y'all. You have quite a bit of that padding going on, don't you? You've been padding insurance claims for a long time, haven't you? Do y'all keep those bathrooms so nasty to invent new patients? I think so. Because nearly all of my neighbors got sick at different times, but they all got sick. My lupus is back, that I have been in remission for 18 years. And get this shit, and I have proof of this too. They were using phone and signal jammers there at the RV park to stop the videotaping. They were also using the forced backdoor attacks through the voicemail. I have proof because I had installed a detector on my phone. And I also have a screenshot where they signed into my hotspot on my phone. I have a video shooting at the same time that Cassandra Staley pulls up, and as I'm videotaping, I hear a bing, and it disconnects it in the phone. It shows that my phone went out of service like 30 times in a week. That's what they do when they're signal jamming. So I couldn't be videotaping the maid's dirty deeds. So what I had to do was start waiting till midnight and going in both bathrooms and taking your videos. Time dating them. I don't care. Thing is, y'all know the maids aren't staying there. Y'all know that if they were, the place wouldn't be that dirty. Don't you? But what I can't understand is why you never fixed it. You never did. You had every opportunity. Do you think I'm going to go away? I don't go away. I don't go away. And you can sue me. I don't have nothing. Sue me, bitch. But I am not going away. So anyway, I'm going to go out of here. Scott and White, I am still telling you, settle with me. Settle with my friends. There's 6 of us now. There's going to be more. Because when I put it on Nextdoor, there was 53 responses about padding on your bills. How long do you think it's going to take before a big deal class action lawsuit comes about? You've got too many friggin' lawsuits. You think that you're bulletproof because you've been dismissed all this time because judges are weak here. But when they get a real big class action, they're not going to back up. They're not going to dismiss. And your licenses will be jerked, especially with all the other violations you've got. Peace out.